For a lot of us new filmmakers, it is really hard to get people to help us out produce our videos. So a lot of the time, we're just stuck filming by ourselves. And when I mean filming by ourselves, I mean being behind and in front of the camera at once. In essence, doing two people's jobs, which can be very, very difficult. And so here are some tips. Here's some stuff I've learned throughout my time filming by myself. And when I say by myself, I mean by myself, no help, just me. And I want to share them with you so that you can increase the quality and the amount of fun you have while filming by yourself. Hello, I'm Leif from Anything Cameras, a channel that focuses on helping you improve your filming and photography. And today it's all about filming solo. So now the first thing you want to keep in mind while filming solo is pack light. Because the last thing you want is tons of gear laying around that you have to set up and then put back in the bag and move around and keep organized and remember. It's just a hassle. It's easier just to pack very light. Now, make sure you're only getting the gear you absolutely need. And this can involve maybe editing your script a little bit to adjust the scenes so that you only have to use one camera, a simpler audio system, a simpler light setup, something a little bit easier to set up by yourself. It is often handy to have a checklist that you use to make sure you get all of the equipment that you need. And if you want a pre-made one, we have one in the description down below that you can use for free. Go download it and it'll probably help you out in your next solo shoot. Or for that matter, any shoot. When you're filming by yourself, it's often hard to frame your shot. You might be slightly off center, but you don't know that because you might not have a monitor or a flip out screen. So before you start filming yourself, put in something that stands in for you in the shot so you can frame correctly. Now this could be a person walking by, somebody, a stranger. Dummies work quite well because you can bring them around. It could be something as simple as a stick with a little base and a head on it that's about your height. Now when filming yourself, make sure that when you're planning your shots, they are all static shots because you can't move the camera really well by yourself unless you have a slider, but even still, that's really hard to frame. And most of the time, you just want to keep it static and just play around with the framing, use that dummy, and you'll still be able to get a great looking video. Now the third tip is investing in the right gear, namely in a monitor for your camera, a camera with good autofocus, or a camera with a flip out screen. All of these will help you out a lot when filming by yourself. Flip out screens and monitors will allow you to view yourself while you're filming, basically removing the need for a dummy or a stand-in person to frame on. And autofocus will allow you to always get your shots perfectly in focus, if it's good autofocus, without having to set focus and try to stay in a certain plane. Now tip number 4 is use as few locations as possible. Because the more locations you have, the more traveling you have to do, the more moving of gear, the more organizing, the more planning, and it just gets more and more hectic, which is terrible for you. This will help you keep organized if you just use a few locations. If this involves editing your script, do it. It's much easier to edit a script than go to 6 locations. Just edit it and go to 1 or 2. Keep it small, keep it easy. It's cheaper, smaller, easier, less stressful, and this will help you in producing a high quality video. So the last thing you need to keep in mind when filming by yourself is your audio. And you always want to make sure that your microphone is within 3 feet of you if you're using a shotgun microphone. Now a lavalier, of course, can be hooked onto your shirt, and there are other types of microphones out there, but in general, filmmakers tend to use shotgun mics because they produce great quality audio if you get a good one, and they can be placed basically anywhere, and it's easy to boom one in from above or below a subject's face. So make sure when you are filming, you always keep your microphone, especially if you're using a shotgun microphone, close to your subject. This means always keeping your subject in a part of the frame where a microphone is not too far away. For instance, if you have a super wide frame with a tiny subject in the middle, near the bottom, and you can see the whole body, you're gonna have a really hard time hiding a microphone if it is a shotgun. In that case, you can use a lavalier, but not all of us are blessed with bank accounts full enough to buy us a good lavalier mic, so shotguns are often what we're stuck with. So just keep where you'd put the mic when you are choosing the framing, because good audio is very important. So comment down below, what's your favorite tip for filming by yourself? We'd love to hear from you, and I'm sure everybody else would too. And make sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. And if you want to see another one right now, click right over here on one that YouTube has suggested.